2. Folks, welcome back to So Bad It's Good. Listen, there's a show on Netflix that I actually really, really dig. It's called Selling the OC. It focuses on the Oppenheim Group. Now, we know these guys from Selling Sunset, but did you know this is the 4th season of Selling the OC? And if I'm being honest, I have to say, I like Selling the OC better than Selling Sunset. I'm so sorry to put that out there, but I do. I thought this last season was fantastic. I think this holiday season, nothing says the holidays like Selling the OC. You got to check it out. But they have a new cast member in this 4th season that I really love. We talk about ethical storytelling or behaving ethically in reality television, and I believe our next guest has done that. But she is so much more than a real estate agent for the Oppenheim Group. She has 13 years of experience in real estate, fashion, entertainment. She's a former fashion model who studied psychology and neuroscience. So her career spans everything. And she also throws these kind of curated experiences and parties. She just got back from Art Basel, for the love of God. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kaylee Ricciardi. Did I say that right?
You said it perfectly.
Okay. I love that I immediately say, did I say that right?
You did a great job. What an introduction. I love it.
Well, it's easy when you have so much going on, and I think that's the fallacy sometimes of these shows where you're like, well, they just sell real estate for the O Group. And this is your first season, so there is so much about you that we do not know at all.
Correct.
Because I just met you down when we got here, and you just got back from Art Basel.
Like 48 hours ago.
And you threw a party there, right?
I threw a party. My friends and I threw a party together and kind of spearheaded the project with one other person, and it went really great. It was really amazing.
So Art Basel is just kind of like, how would you describe it? It's around art, right?
It is, I would say... It's supposed to be centered around art, but it's definitely a focal point for partying and events, and especially the music world.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting... I'd never been to Art Basel. This was my first
one. This is your first
ever.
one?
I know, kind of crazy, right? Just because I've been in the event world for a long time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of events at Coachella. I'm sure you guys heard.
Yeah, on Selling the OC, she knows Coachella property. I've been to 13 Coachellas, so I always think Coachella turned into what I hear Art Basel is now, in the sense of the party. Like that first weekend at Coachella, you got to go to Bolthouse's thing. You got to go to this party. I'm like, what about the music?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that is kind of what, I mean, again, this is my first Art Basel, but it felt more party and event centric than the actual art. But I do love art. I'm an art nerd. I paint and draw myself. So I did get to see some of the art. That was like part of the reason I really wanted to go.
Did the party go good?
You know, it was great. So I work for a company called Pizza Slime. So we threw the Pizza Slime party.
Oh, Pizza Slime. I actually have heard of Pizza Slime.
It's a huge company.
So you're also an event planner on top of real estate. And then what blew me away was the degree in psychology and neuroscience. How do you go from a degree in psychology and neuroscience to the life that you live now?
I was studying psychology, and it was really interesting to me, and neuroscience were some of the classes that I was like focusing on because I thought it was interesting. Honestly, it was that or communications. And I just found that Dr. Brett King, who's a really great teacher, was really interesting. And his lectures were captivating. And I actually paid attention. My ADHD wasn't drawing me elsewhere. So I liked psychology and neuroscience simply because I found it interesting.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's applicable in real life. You just don't really think so.
Yeah.
It helps you better understand the people around you and diagnose them.
By the way, I'm hoping there's a 5th season of Selling the OC, because I would love for you to diagnose some of your castmates. What is it like?
There's a lot of mental.
Yeah. It really, truly, you do feel there's like we're in like rarefied air when you watch that show, because first off, I think a lot of people will never be able to live in a house like the ones that the O Group are showing. And that's part of it, right? We want this kind of unattainable lifestyle. You're like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And in my taste, I always love the Selling the OC houses more than Selling Sunset. But it is interesting because it's like, wow, this aspirational lifestyle that I will probably never be able to obtain myself, which I think is the draw of the show. But you're entering on the 4th season where there's been so many cast shakeups, but then there's already this established group of people in a reality show. What is that like? Oh, and by the way, we hop around a lot on this show.
My God, you're fine.
Just ADHD. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So,
I can keep up.
What's it like being on this show? Like, is it like a first day of school, your first day of filming? Like, what do you feel going into something like this?
That's actually a really great analogy. It felt like my first day of school. However, I've known Lisa and Austin for a very long time. So knowing that I had like someone having my back on set made it feel like a little less, actually a lot less.
But do they really have your back? I feel like with a reality show, can you trust anybody on these shows?
Austin has been my friend for almost a decade.
And by the way, Austin's big storyline, vasectomy this season, you guys.
Those butt shots were crazy.
Dude,
there's
guys,
8 angles.
If you like, and by the way, I love that we live in a day and age where we get more male butt on.
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like the ladies have done it now for decades. Let's get male butt. But we have a full-on male butt shot of Austin.
I'm all for male nudity, let me tell you. So I'm just grateful that it was Austin's butt.
I thought it was a groundbreaking moment.
Yeah.
But you actually do trust Austin. You do
Very
trust that
much
relationship.
So. Austin and Lisa are my real friends. These are my real connections. These are my people. Again, I can't predict what's going to happen in the future. Tensions are high. The drama is very real. Things happen. But I've been friends with him for a long time, and I know where his heart is and his intentions are. So if we ever did get into some disagreement, I don't think it would be for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. We were also talking because I think a lot of questions that people that are watching or listening to this are always like, is it real? Is it real? And I still, 6 years into doing this show, you said it is real.
It's real.
Yeah. And I think that is really scary to hear sometimes because you watch these shows and you're like, there's no way. This is insane.
Yeah. Trying to like mitigate everything was really difficult. I've never dealt with so much drama and all these different points of drama at once. It was really hard to juggle on top of, one of my business partners being really, really sick. It was just a nightmare.
You were dealing with that as well.
Yeah, they didn't touch upon it as much.
I think they mentioned it. Are you right?
Yeah, it was brought up it was, portrayed in a very interesting way on the show. There was a lot more to it, obviously, that didn't get shown, but my business partner was very, very sick and he had gone septic while we were out filming there. And the good thing about filming was that we were literally like 6 or 7 minutes away from the hospital that he was at. I was closer to him and on call because I was filming rather than being back home in LA. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, like I would have been out there, would have gotten a hotel and just been like lingering. So it was nice to be on set, kind of distracted, but my phone was on loud. And anytime I got a text or a call, I don't care if the cameras were on, I was taking it to make sure he was okay and nothing had happened. But it was really, really bad. It got to a point where we thought.
And he's okay now
he's
or
doing
on the road to recovery?
So much better now. He's on the road to recovery. Actually, Tyler had some issues, similar issues as him with his bowels and removing feet of it and going septic, and how he knows personally how crazy it was. And he was really guiding me and a shoulder to lean on during that whole time because of his personal experience. He was giving me doctors that he recommended, and he was a huge asset during this time. My business partner, it's just kind of like one of those things where there's a lot of hurdles. It's not just like a one and done type surgery. There's a bunch of things that go with it. So he's doing so much better. He's really stable right now. So things are good. But it's a roller coaster.
But isn't that crazy though? When, especially as you get older, it's like you're doing your job, and this your job in this aspect is a reality show, and then life happens on top of your reality of the reality show, which your mind must have been just doing like somersaults the entire time because you're a new cast member. Like there is, I would imagine on any show, you see it on Housewives all the time. Like there's like a hazing process almost where people are sizing you up, and I don't trust you, and you better not get a better listing than I'm going to get. And that's the insanity that you have to go through. What in your past prepared you for this specific experience?
I mean, I feel like I have dealt with a lot of bullying in the past.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in like a North Shore of Boston, this town called Marblehead, but I was born and raised in Salem, Massachusetts. So Salem and Marblehead are next to each other. So I was born in Salem, went to Marblehead High. Let's just say Salem because people don't know Marblehead. But I grew up with a lot of bullying, like a lot. And I actually was in like an anti-bullying campaign, Team Harmony.
Really?
Yeah. And growing up, like I just was really against that. There's so much bullying and so much hazing and like
which makes so much sense.
Out of a movie type
Your
shit.
storyline though makes so much sense.
Pasta on girls' heads in the middle of our school lunch for everyone to see, like mean girl shit, putting gum in my hair. Like I didn't get the pasta, that was to a friend, but putting gum in my hair, putting ketchup and mustard in our book bags, and destroying all our books so we couldn't afford to like buy new ones. And it was like a really fucked up situation, just like really bad stuff. And from an early age, I was like, I'm not going to subscribe to this at all. Like, this is not fucking cool.
So you had enough self-awareness even at that point where you're like, I know this is wrong. and this isn't going to take me under.
We all want to be accepted to some degree and be like cool kids.
And loved, yeah.
Yeah, and loved, but I have morals, and if someone is doing something wrong, especially when it comes to like, I wouldn't say bullying, but just that type of energy, that mean girl or that gossipy shit, it's hard for me to be around. And I try to give everyone a chance before judging.
That's why I like.
I will have a strong opinion, and I can be very fucking mean and straightforward. But it takes a second for me to get there. You have to show me who you are. I don't have to hear it from everyone else. I need to see who you are, and then I can make a decision and act appropriately.
See, I think that actually shines through on this season, and that's what I thought made you different from everybody that I've seen on this show so far, because there's even a situation on this show where people, I mean, which is reality show fodder, people talking behind other people's backs. And you very clearly go, hey, I think it would be, you know what, you might want to talk to this person in person, you know? And that's like a reality show. No, we want to keep the drama going as long as like, no, don't go face it. We want to keep talking bad about somebody. And you're like, no, this should be done this way, which I thought usually you don't see that character on reality TV.
Well, it's one of those things where it got to a point where it was bad. If you are making horrific accusations about each other for hours straight.
Yeah, because we only see the edit. We only see the edit. These things are shot for hours and hours.
Don't be a pussy. Say it to their face. My God.
No, that is funny because I was just like, well, speaking of high school, it never ends, right? Like we all always experience some version of high school later in life. And
haters are everywhere.
And how are you dealing with, and I would have to imagine, I'm not on Reddit and stuff, but I would have to imagine it's pretty positive with your character, which is you. But how do you deal with actually being in a higher profile than you were, say, 2 years ago? Like, regarding the show, being on the show, are you like, is it adding to a bully mentality, which you already don't like? Has it been positive for you so far?
I think I got lucky, and I really stayed true to myself and my own personality and my morals and stuff, despite being in the situation where you're encouraged to be
like you came off
more
great.
Dramatic. So I think that was well received by the general public. Everyone has been really, really nice to me. I don't want to jinx this, but I can count on my hand.
Today, folks. We're going to ruin it today.
Please be nice. I'm sensitive, but I can count on my hand the amount of negative media comments I've gotten. People just more so have things to say about my physical appearance, which obviously doesn't feel good. It's not nice. I can't really control how I look.
People don't like supermodels. That's what they're like. People do not like people that look good. With you are having people will make fun of anything these days, and it sucks because you're in this like vacuum, especially when you're in like a pop culture scenario. Is that with social media, we've gotten to a point where we feel comfortable saying anything. We feel comfortable saying things that we would never say in real life at all. Yeah,
keyboard warriors. People don't give a shit.
I know, and I do wonder. I mean, what is behind that, obviously, but if you get sucked too much into that line of thinking, you're done. But what do you perceive the show to be in terms of if people have sent you things? Like, who's having a rough go of it, in your opinion?
Oh, man. I just think almost a majority of the cast gets a lot of hatred. And I think, everyone is really good so far that I've seen at kind of not looking or not letting it deeply, deeply affect them. I'm just a sensitive person. I think maybe that can even shine through on the show. You can see that I'm not taking part in it because I can have empathy for the other end. If someone's being the brunt of the joke, that sucks.
Folks, So Bad It's Good this week is sponsored by our good friends over at Quince. That's right, Quince. In fact, I just got an email from Quince. They know what I like. They say I need to get a shearling collar leather flight jacket, and it's now on sale, and I might need to spend some of that holiday cash on a shearling collar leather flight jacket. Dang! Anyways, a new year, colder days. This is the moment your winter wardrobe really has to deliver, like this shearling collar leather flight jacket. But if you're craving a winter reset, start with pieces truly made to last season after season. Quince brings together premium materials, thoughtful design, and enduring quality so you stay warm, look sharp, and feel your best all season long. Quince has everything you need. Men's Mongolian cashmere sweaters, wool coats, leather, and suede outerwear that actually hold up to daily wear and still look good. I've been talking about menswear, but the women's wear is off the chain. Also, their outerwear especially impressive. Think down jackets, wool coats, Italian leather outerwear like I just talked about that keep you warm when it's actually cold. Now, each piece is made from premium materials by trusted factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. By cutting out the middleman and traditional markups, Quince delivers the same quality as luxury brands at a fraction of the price. The result is classic styles you're going to love that hold up year after year. So, refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/sobad for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/sobad. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sobad. Were they appreciative of that, or did they want you to play in like a dirtier sandbox?
I think everyone wants you to have a louder voice or take an opinion or have someone's back, just like friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need time to figure out where I wouldn't even say loyalties lie, just how I feel about
There's an
a
acclimation.
situation.
Yeah.
I was just acclimating to being around new colleagues and new friends.
So you grow up in Marblehead and you have this anti-bullying campaign. You go to college and you're studying all of these different things. What brings you to Los Angeles?
Me and my best friends in college made a pact that we're going to move to California together. I lived in a house with like 10.
Why though? Was
girls.
there like something you watched? Was there something like that's where everything's happening?
When we were freshmen in college, my friend Angela was born and raised in Montecito in Santa Barbara. And she's like, you guys are coming to California. And me and a couple of my East Coast friends, because the house that all 10 of us lived in were from all over. So the East Coast girls were like very, very excited to experience the West Coast for the first time. So we came here. I'll never forget. It was during spring break. And I was like, palm trees are real. Oh my God. It wasn't like, back home it was freezing still. And we were in school in Colorado. So it was still cold. So going to California for spring break, I was like, I got a sunburn. Palm trees are real. The ocean is kind of cold, but it's nice. Like it was just not like a wake-up call, but I was like, I'm going to live here. And all of us were like, this is it. We're all moving to LA after this or to California.
But at that point, what did you want to do? Because LA is a place, but it's not a job.
I was a lost college kid. And like, luckily my parents were like, get a part-time job. If you need a little bit of help, we'll help you. I had that. And I'm very grateful for that. So I wasn't like pressured right away to get like, a corporate job that, I was making a salary at. And I got lucky and I just worked at a Pure Barre studio. It's kind of like a ballet workout bar. I was like a manager there. And then I got scouted to model pretty quickly after, and it just kind of snowballed. I was just figuring it out. I graduated like a year early. I was very young. So I think I just turned 21. I was a kid.
I love what you said about LA or California when you first get here. I mean, I grew up in Kansas and I truly thought it was like this kind of Narnia, like it didn't really exist.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
The Hollywood sign. And then when you find out it does exist and you can actually go there, like they'll just let you in.
Yeah.
That is a wild experience. I always say, even in my darkest days, I'll still drive down like Sunset and I'll see things that I grew up watching on like, say, Entertainment Tonight or something. And there is like this magic to it still. I mean, in California and Los Angeles especially, has taken so many knocks this year. And I think it's so unfair because I think there's still so much magic here.
Totally.
Because it's a town full of dreamers at the end of the day. It's a town full of people that are like, oh, this place is magic when you get here. And I think that also is the great and bad thing, because you're dealing with a lot of people that are here for their dreams, might not know what their dreams are yet. It's a different energy than any place else I've been.
I like the way that you look at it like that. That's like a really positive light. It's good for a lot of opportunity. But that being said, what you're kind of saying with the people, it can be a lot of opportunistic type of people.
Yeah, everybody has
a catch-22.
Yeah, so you have to have a real good sense about yourself because you can really get swept under in it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was like, interesting about your story, because they kept bringing up the Coachella aspect of it.
It was beaten
really
down.
But that's what reality television does.
Guys, we're talking about so many other things. They just chose to edit a lot of Coachella.
She's a raver, you guys. They kept saying, and I haven't really heard the term raver in a minute.
I've been to many raves, but I don't currently go to that many raves. I do love a concert. I love a festival.
Who doesn't? Yes.
If I want to go to a rave, cool, but I wouldn't like necessarily label myself as that. But if I'm here to represent that community, then so be it. Like,
It's a great community.
I love
but it wasn't
a concert.
But it wasn't like you had a lollipop and you were like, like
I didn't have my glow sticks.
You were like dancing around. But it was funny. Like there's an episode with Diplo. I never thought I would see Diplo on a Selling Sunset or Selling the OC type show, and he was there. And you're friends with Diplo, right?
Yeah, he's one of my really good friends. I actually just had him perform at our Pizza Slime party in Art Basel. He brought some surprise performers and guests.
Who did he bring?
He brought Masik and Ruckus. So those are, he works and produces a lot of music with Masik. He's incredible, and Ruckus is also just amazing. So it was like 3 different performances in one.
Yeah.
So it was such a vibe. It was really fun.
No, and he's funny as hell. I mean, I think the show
so
his scene,
funny.
He actually does have, he's like, oh, really? Is that what this is? Like, he was very funny.
He was being really playful, but that's his real humor. He was like letting his humor shine. That's like the foundation of our friendship is we just banter, and we've been friends like that for 14, I don't know. I've met him a really, really long time.
I mean, it's weird to think about Diplo in particular because he's had such a long and storied career from like working with like MIA and Major Lazer and all of these. Like he's survived so many different genres of music. And it is interesting because now he's almost... Like I would 20 years from now, he's going to be carrying like the Olympic torch or something. Like he's like, more and more people are like, oh, it's Diplo. And you're like, oh, but this started because of his musical talent, you know?
Yeah, he's forever evolving, which is really admirable. And I love where his career's gone. He does Run Club now, too.
Yeah, I'm just tired of watching him run. And I'm like, you've been up since 5 a.m. probably, and you're out there running. Like I could not do...
He doesn't sleep. But that's just like how he's...
Yeah.
Internally, I don't know if it's just from years of touring and stuff, but he doesn't require much sleep. He's an Energizer bunny, and he's obsessed with health and wellness. So
I hate people like that. Like I need sleep, and it's so frustrating because I don't get a lot of it, and it really wears on me.
I get cranky.
Yes,
he's just doesn't. Really, I mean, I think with as he's gotten older, he's prioritizing sleep more. But he as a human doesn't require as much sleep as a normal person, which makes me a little jealous.
I don't like it, and he better not work at not work at the O Group next season if that happens.
He might.
Wouldn't it be great, Diplo.
He might be the newest.
Like, music isn't what it was. I kind of need to get a diversity. So, anyways, you get scouted as a model, right? Which you can't really prepare or expect, right?
Yeah, I mean,
or were you kind of secretly hoping?
I was secretly hoping that. I think in college I was like I wouldn't even say unrealistic because I think how you speak out loud into yourself is really important of how to manifest your future and your life. But back in the day, I was like, I'm going to be Victoria's Secret angel. I don't know. I think I dressed up as one for Halloween, and I just like had this idea in my head, like I'm going to try
dress for the job you want, right?
I'm going to try and model or something. That was in the back of my head. And when I got scouted, I was like, thank God
it happened. Well, so. I mean, a lot of people, myself included, we didn't have that experience. We don't know what that's like. And it sounds like amazing, right? You're like, oh, that's so cool being discovered. But I would also imagine, like we talked about earlier, it opens you up to some great people and some not so great people. And being a woman, especially in Hollywood or Los Angeles, I would imagine you've had to deal with so many people hitting on you, so many people putting you in weird situations. Like, what is that like to go from like a high school where people are dumping pasta on each other's head to LA, which is a different form of thing, or like men or people wanting things from you that it's like, I'm not here for that. Did you have a better experience than most in terms of that?
I had a really interesting introduction to moving to California. I moved to Newport and I was living with an ex, and that was a very, very bad, very tumultuous breakup.
And just so you know, Newport is further, like away from Los Angeles.
So I got my start in Orange County in OC. I moved there and went through the most traumatic breakup possible, like a baby and another woman was involved type of shit.
Yeah.
And I instantly went into therapy, and honestly, thank God for my mom and my friends, because I was constantly on the phone just talking through my issues and my worries. And it's funny how karma works because my life kind of blossomed after I let that chapter go. And it was I've dealt with some interesting people. There's the frequent shitty photographer who's like, we're going to shoot naked. And
that's what you hear all the time. Yeah.
I got sucked into it a couple times, but everything that I shot was implied
and tasteful.
And it was like only a couple guys. And it was like in the very beginning when I got sucked in. And I still think about it to this day, like how disgusting these people are, that they took advantage. And I was like, no. And they're like, I will tell your agent, like threatening me. And at the time I was not young and naive. And I was like, okay, like, so I'm in the photos just like clearly uncomfortable, not showing anything, but like freaking out. And it's just really disgusting. And I think that, the Me Too movement was really impactful for so many people. And I think a lot of women came forward and called out most, if not all of those photographers. So I didn't personally need to do anything. Not that, I don't know, I think it's so far gone that it's just...
Well, it's karma in a sense.
Yeah, but I dealt with that, if that's kind of what you're asking.
Yeah, kind of, like, because that's part of it that a lot of people don't even realize. I mean, you have heard about the Me Too movement and like Weinstein and all of these things, but that was, all of my female friends had to deal with something like that, where you're just like, oh, it is. And it's, like I'm blissfully sometimes oblivious as a dude where you're like, hey, what? Or like you talk to your female friends and be like, yeah, I've got like a bunch of unsolicited dick pics. And you're like, what? Like, you're like, wait, what? And everybody has those stories. And it just sucks because you're trying to do this as a job at the time. And that has got to really, once again, kind of screw your head up.
Big time.
But if you do the work and go to therapy and you have a great family that is like supporting you, it seems like you were able to survive and thrive.
Somehow able to survive and thrive. A lot of trauma for sure, but definitely had a lot of really inappropriate, not a lot, but I've had enough inappropriate photographers that it just was scarring for sure. But it's just, honestly, it was like normalized. This was like 10 plus years ago. It was normalized that you have to like shoot these specific photographers to get in with, the crowd. And then one of them will randomly have a crush on you and is inappropriate. And you just have to like kind of like roll with it, not roll, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just not be disrespectful, but be like,
So you're doing the modeling career, and then also your hands are in real estate, but also event planning as well, right?
So,
like, how did all of this come to be?
I first started modeling. That was where my career began in Los Angeles, in Orange County. And then a few years into it, I met up with one of my friends from college. He worked as a property manager for a gated community in the desert. And he curated this dead-end block during Coachella for mostly artists and celebrities to make it this like a block party. The gates close at night and all the houses are having parties, and it's like these big celebrities and these big DJs. And he's like, I know some of the people here, like you're at these parties. Why don't you help me just rent out the houses and I'll give you money? And I was like, okay. Because legally you don't need a license if you're doing 30 days or less. And it's not like a loophole. It's just you're not doing a full real estate transaction. I was doing like referral anyway. So that's how it started. And then I started curating this block, and then my clients were expanding and people were finding out what I do. And in a world full of not so...
Where's this documentary, by the way? I want the Coachella block party documentary.
Yeah, in a world where there's not a lot of really honest people with integrity that are going to work with you and not just, take your money. I made my foundation and who I am in my career based off that and my relationships. I will sacrifice some of my own commission to make sure that you are taken care of and you are in a good spot.
Did you evolve into that? Did you learn into that? Or was that you day one? I
learned that working in this industry, there's a lot of not so honest people, and integrity gets you really, really far. So I put my best foot forward, and I worked with all these clients, and I did everything I could to just make my best first impression being new to this game, and it worked. And it just kind of picked up from there. And then I started representing properties that are event properties. So they have like a giant hangar in the back. So at night, if you come to me and you're like, Kaylee, I want to rent a house, but I also like transparently, I want to have a party. I want 300 people. I want to go till 3 a.m. What do I do? I'm like, okay, well, this specific house I know is in an area that we can get permits, and there's a hangar in the back. So if you go in this giant 4,000-foot shed, close the door at 9 p.m., 8 p.m.
You can do whatever you want in there.
So the noise isn't loud and amplified, and we, make sure that the fire lanes, all the things that are required are taken care of. I can get you this done. And they're like, oh, wow. Okay. So then I started creating relationships with all these homeowners and finding the best fit for all needs. If you have a big clothing brand, and you want to throw a party during the day, I can put you here, vice versa. It's a lot of just knowing the clientele and knowing the homeowners and making the pieces work. And that evolved into helping throw the events more so. So I am the director of partnerships.
And are you realizing this is going well for you?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, success is hard for me to digest because I unfortunately, I'm working on this with a therapist. I attribute my success to my outright, let me rephrase this. I measure my success by my external achievements, which is not healthy.
No.
I think a lot of people do that. So for me, it's always, what's the next best thing, bigger thing I can do? And if things don't go perfectly, I beat myself up. But a perfectionist type A when it comes to work. So I'm really trying to unwire my brain and not just think that what my work stuff defines.
It's where your neuroscience degree comes
success.
in. Come on. Like that's, well, it really is hard though. I mean, that's, it's like
my external achievements do not define my internal self-worth.
But see, that is so hard. I mean,
but it's so hard to train your brain to think that way.
I was saying, like, podcasting charts or this or that, and you're like, oh my God, it's never going to be good enough. And you realize it's never going to be good enough. It's never. Like, like it just, and that is really hard when you are.
I think that way.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, I achieve things, and I often don't take a step to just appreciate and revel and roll in it for a sec. I'm like, what's next? And my family is constantly like, hey,
chill out. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, also I'm always striving for the I'm proud of you words. I'm a words of affirmation person. So sometimes those can be a little bit more difficult to achieve from your friends and loved ones. So I'm always trying to get those words. And sometimes you just got to go harder and harder until you get them.
But sometimes you go harder and harder, you burn out completely.
I've experienced that as well. And that's really important to listen to your body and your brain. And if you get burnout, take the time, take the vacation.
Well, that's part of it's not a storyline per se, but you even say in one of the episodes, you're like, I got to get out of here. I got to recharge. I'm at, obviously you're dealing with your business partner and stuff, but you say that to Tyler in one of this, you're like, I'm not doing great. And I thought, oh yeah, you're taking care of yourself.
I needed help. Yeah. I genuinely was like talking to therapists and stuff because I was having a really hard time, being on paper someone's emergency contact who's in the hospital and like bouncing that with all the drama that was kind of being thrown at me. I actually like broke down. I was like, I can't do this. I gotta go. And I was like fucking crying and talking to a therapist and stuff. I just like hit a point. You know what I mean?
There needs to be therapists designed just for reality stars. That's the reality show I want to see. No, how are you approached? So you're building this business, you're building this kind of brand in a sense, and it's going well, even though you might not recognize it. How does that lead to the producers of Selling the OC? Or have you been almost on this show since the beginning? Like, because Selling Sunset hit, and it hit pretty big. Selling the OC was a spinoff. And it's really hard because they'll take a lot of time sometimes in between seasons, it feels. And I've really, really liked Selling the OC. And I believe, and you don't have to confirm this, that this was a pretty quick turnaround, is that you guys were filming like into the summer and then they just released it about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
So that's very really quick turnaround.
Yes.
How are you approached for the show?
Okay, to give you a little context, because I want to like touch upon this.
Yeah.
Before, so my career kind of changed my career has taken another turn, and I became the director of partnerships at Pizza Slime. Which is the Art Basel party you just threw. And the Coachella and the parties that I'm constantly talking about. I work with this team. Those are my people. And I help basically onboard different sponsors, companies, brands, celebrities, and obtain budgeting so we can throw these parties and fund the parties and make them happen. That being said, getting my foot in the door and helping on that front, one of my parties I threw, like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky and a lot like Jeff Bezos and people apparently came. They wrote articles
heard of Jeff, heard of Rihanna, yes.
I mean, they wrote articles about it. And it was pretty crazy. And I think that maybe attributed to the selling scouts,
the OC,
maybe coming back onto my radar because they hit me up like I think it was just around the COVID time, and I was on their radar, and it seemed like I made it pretty far with the interview process.
So even then, you were open to it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I knew it would take my career to another level, and anything that can be a challenge but better me, I'm always open to.
But we were talking to before this is that I know your mom is a fan of Housewives, of reality TV.
She's a huge fan of Housewives.
Because you're like, I still watch, Housewives because of my mom, and we talk so much about Housewives here, but your mom will tell you, or even is that you have to open up your life to a certain bit of introspection, not only by you, but like we said, to keyboard warriors everywhere, that I was kind of like, how much trepidation did that give you to even put yourself in that process just because it'll give you a further step in your career?
Yeah, it was a big decision, obviously, and I was a little bit nervous at first when they first came to me about the opportunity. And then I sat with it, and we lost years of our lives. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm stagnant. I'm not making money. I'm panicking, quite frankly, on my future. I'm like, everyone was uncertain of where their lives were going at that time. But that kind of lit a fire under my butt, because I was like, you know what? Once the world opens back up, because I had a feeling it would, I'm going to go 10 times harder. I'm going to work 10 times harder. I'm going to make my whole family proud, make myself proud, obviously, is kind of what I'm getting at. And they came back around, and I was like, let's have this meeting right away. We had like a 20 or 30-minute meeting, and I was just like, I talked about my party, Rihanna coming, her dancing like with me kind of, and they
were like, this feels good.
I was like, does that sound more interesting to you than just me selling houses? Take your pick. You can choose from the thousands of people that you've been talking to, but my world is not boring, and my world goes a million miles per hour, and I'm always up to something. So let me know.
And so they did eventually jump on board, and you started filming this season. It was really this kind of insane season that you're thrown into, bunch of cast changes. And listen, this is the part for the fans out there. Is this show, I don't know if you're allowed to say, is this show picked up for a 5th season? Because, or did you already film it and we don't know?
We have not filmed it yet, and I don't know if we're picked up yet. To my knowledge, we'll find out in the next couple weeks. Because I think the show's still...
are you in touch with the production company?
Yeah, I spoke to one of our producers, and I just asked. I was like, hey, do we have an idea?
Did they say it sounds good? It feels good? But
they've been really happy. We were in the top 10 for weeks. And just...
So I thought it was a great season.
Yeah, we
really
had really good
it.
feedback. Everyone really liked it. It's not up to us, obviously. The big top dogs. Top dogs at Netflix. And the people, if you guys love it,
top
thumbs up
dogs at Netflix / Warner Brothers, since you just bought Warner Brothers?
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
crazy.
So there were a couple things this season, before we get back to your real life.
Yes.
Is that I noticed Tyler's back, and Tyler had this thing with Hall, or Alex Hall. We call her Hall on the show. And I guess she's kind of the female lead, if it were, but... he's there again. And then I noticed it feels like they were trying to set up this, how I read it, this relationship with you guys where it's like, oh, is something there? And not that you're like going, oh, this guy's hot or anything, but it felt like there were a couple conversations in there where I was like, I've watched enough of this where I was like, oh, they're planting seeds for some sort of relationship. Now I want to let the audience know Tyler got married last week. To somebody that wasn't on Selling the OC.
Congratulations, Tyler.
Congratulations, Tyler. Am I crazy? Was that what was happening? Because
I think that, like I said earlier, when my business partner got sick, I talked to Tyler like briefly about it, and he basically was like, hey, I have a tattoo that says no colon, still rolling. I had basically the same issues as him. And I was like, wait, what? And then we started talking in depth about that stuff. I don't even know if it's called a trauma bond, but I was seeking advice, medical advice from him for a while. And then that just turned into kind of him being like an actual shoulder to cry on. I literally cried on his shoulder multiple times just because I was like, what do I do?
So you got close with Tyler as a friend?
As a friend, I got close with him. And obviously, when you're friends with someone of the opposite sex or gender, it can sometimes come across as, something else. Yeah. And for me, it was a friend dynamic. He's attractive, but it wasn't one of those things where I was like, I want him. It was one of those things where he was a really good friend and he was a shoulder to cry on.
I think the show would have liked it though. I think the show, it seemed like they
would have liked it.
Yes, I do agree. I thought that's what they were leading up to. So I was like waiting for like some sort of
Him and Hall had so much unresolved drama, and they were working through and like closing that chapter.
Yeah, but Hall made her choice.
I'm having a mental breakdown about my business partner.
No, it was
like it wasn't the right time.
It wasn't the right time.
But if it was the right time in the right place, and he was single and I was single, who knows?
But what I like to hear is that you weren't like pining for him, and then you're like, he's married.
Oh my gosh, okay. No. It was one of those things where just as friends, we had chemistry, and he was a shoulder to cry on, and then he was a really great person. He's a good person. He helped me through a lot of shit that I couldn't talk about with anyone
I like to hear
else,
that. Yeah.
And yeah, he started dating his now fiance, or I'm so sorry, his now wife. Wife.
Was that the girl he was talking about in one of the episodes towards the end? Was that when he talked to Hall in the last episode of like, oh, I'm seeing this girl and she's different than anybody else I've ever dated
Exactly.
before.
We started seeing each other while we were filming, and he really, called her, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but Tyler, this is good for you. He did say, like, he referred to her as the love of his life, like kind of like jokingly, but like pretty quick out the gate.
That's great to say. I think we could say that.
Pretty quick out the gate. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's very serious. This is very cute. So I'm just super happy for him.
Yeah. So you're thrown into this bunch of animals on this reality show. There's another new character, Ashton Zerboni, and she's involved in a lot of the drama. You kind of stand up for her in a sense because you just don't want people talking against, behind people's backs.
I was just trying to do the right thing. I wasn't necessarily standing up for her.
No, you were just...
In particular, just trying to do the right thing.
How to handle...
I didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But there are so many questions about Ashton that I'm still so confused about because there's like this listing with a friend that she ends up signing the papers when Hall... And like, it was a little confusing how all this... And then how she met her husband. She's pregnant on the show, by the way. She's pregnant on the show. Yeah. So I'm like, let's not upset her too much on the show. Like,
that was my only concern. I didn't want this baby to get lost. I really wanted to just protect the baby at this point.
Yeah.
And obviously wanted to protect her I wanted to protect anyone.
Well, you're getting to know these people.
I could not grasp what everyone was fighting about because my brain was elsewhere.
Yeah. During
a chunk of the fights. Like, I literally was dissociating. I don't even know where I was. I didn't understand what people were fighting about. So it's hard for me to choose a side. And
did you go back and watch the season?
Of course. I watched it a couple times.
Yeah, I would like that. That would be so hard for me to watch myself in any sense.
It's a tough watch. I'm just like, oh my gosh, why do I talk like that? Like, it was hard watching yourself on TV, but I just was trying to do the right thing and protect the pregnant baby.
But what is is there clarification? Is this all for naught? Like, was the marriage thing? They said she met her husband on like some adult, like some sugar baby. And it seems like that's not true because she's like, no, I told you the website we met on.
She didn't meet him on Seeking Arrangements.
That was it. That was Seeking Arrangements.
Which is like, that's a tough rumor.
Yeah.
But to be fair, she's very open about it. She met him on, the app is called Luxy.
Is that
and
like
it's quite literally
Hinge,
the exact same thing.
Oh, it is the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I never heard of Luxy.
You're dating within a certain socioeconomic status.
Yeah.
So
well, and she had an interesting story too, because you find out she grew up, she grew up poor. And she talks about, having to get hot water into a bath and stuff. So I was trying to understand her perspective, but then there was just so many confusing things with saying she's making up things and she's lying. And it was really confusing. So I'm kind of wondering if this show comes back, is she a part of it?
I literally need clarity on some things too about what were lies and what were not, because I don't think everything was.
I think the audience needs clarity on that as well.
Everything was the truth. And at the very end, you see me getting upset. That client that is Ashton's, that Alex Hall was trying to poach and was flirting on, was also my potential client. I actively had been getting him rentals for he's multiple properties. I've been actively getting him rentals. And the hope of me getting clients money for their properties, that when they're ready to list, they want to work with me. It's
so that even you're involved in this too. Yeah,
very much so. It didn't get shown as much. So we'll see what happens. But I genuinely thought that I would be getting that listing. So when everyone was saying, it's mine, I was like, what about me?
Yeah. Well, there's this storyline where they're saying this guy felt upset because he felt like the 2O Group real estate agents was hitting on him because Ashton said that she taught. It's a little confusing, you guys.
I think that there needs to be some clarification on that.
I need major clarification because I'm like, I don't think this is how you do business.
I mean, Fiona came with receipts, but Ashton has her own receipts. But I think that the homeowner and his girlfriend had different perspectives, and I think that's what got mixed up.
But it was actually, sadly, it was entertaining to watch. I mean,
it makes good TV, but it's real drama. It's very much so real emotions.
When you watch this season back, if you can divorce yourself from actually being on it, what do you think of it? Who are your favorites? Like, you don't have to be like just from how it's presented, how it's edited. Like, you don't even have to like them in real life. Like, what do you think? You're like, oh, that was interesting. Oh, I didn't know that happened.
I don't really have favorites, or I didn't perceive it that way. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was funny. I think Austin's butt scene was ridiculous.
It was so funny.
Some of like Gio's one-liners are hilarious. Like Alex and Polly's banter, like everyone has their own things that I really enjoyed. Like Fiona had like a one-liner that I like was cackling at when she was doing sit-ups when she's drunk. It was so funny.
They have this unhinged party out in the desert. Like it was
very
like
unhinged.
And it was like people were like drunk. And usually you see people drunk on reality TV or like Vanderpump Rules back in the old days, but this was like, I was like, wow, they are drunk.
Yeah.
And then like Alex's dude was like piping up and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I got a little sassy. That time.
It was awesome. I mean, what is Gio like in real life?
I love Gio.
Is Gio as he is portrayed on this show?
I think he's just an exaggerated version of himself.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. And
why does he roll up his sleeves on his jacket like that?
I could not tell you that I don't know. But he's a really funny guy. And he just exaggerates, obviously, things a bit more for the camera. But that is his personality. That is who he is. And he's really, really funny. And I think he should get a little bit more credit for being a good guy because he's awesome.
And he's been there since season one.
He and I butted heads a little bit with, my porn star client, but I guess it's to be expected. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to perceive everything correctly. That doesn't mean he's wrong or he's a bad person.
Yeah. No. I mean, but it's a great reality show character.
For sure.
Was Alex nice to you?
Yeah, Alex is nice to me, for sure. I was just getting to know these people and these colleagues. Like, I didn't have a long-standing relationship with most of them. So I'm live getting to know them. So, I've gotten closer with people as we've progressed with filming and off camera in the office.
Yeah, like who do you still stay in touch with? Because you just wrapped, I mean, this is not like it was filmed a year ago. This is
of course.
This year. So, like, do you stay in touch with any of these?
I'm in touch with, I think, just about everyone. I talk the most with Fiona. Her and I actually, like, ever since the end of filming and post-filming have clicked the most, just our sense of humor.
Yeah, I liked her.
We say...
And she's new, too.
Yeah, she's funny. She has a really funny sense of humor. We just talk a lot. We're kind of like comfort blankets because this is a lot to go through. It's a little bit traumatic. Just such a change that we lean on each other a lot and just talk to each other like, hey, like, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I got a really mean comment. Or someone was really... I met someone in person who was really nice to me today that was like a fan of the show. Like, just a shoulder to lean on and talk to. But I talk to like everyone. Like I talk most with, I'd say, Austin and Fiona.
I love that. Are there any truth to the rumors that Jason and Brett Oppenheim are one person and it's CGI? Are there
I can confirm they are two different people. Because Brett, thank you for coming, Brett. Brett came to my party at Art Basel a couple of days ago and we partied together. And I know for a fact that Jason was at the Oppenheim group office holiday party. So there are two different people.
Wait, Brett missed the holiday party?
I think he might have made it back in time, but it was like my party was Saturday night and then the holiday party was Sunday morning. So I don't know.
What's it like when, it's like you hear about these amazing parties that most of us will not be able to get to? What are these parties when you go behind the scenes? Like, you're like, oh, it was great. He was partying. What does partying look like for like millionaires? Are they like getting crazy? Or is he throwing up in a toilet? Like, what is happening at these parties?
I don't think there's much different than you'd expect. It's just, people are taking shots. People are taking photos. People are dancing. We love dancing. The art of dancing has been lost. Please come to my parties and dance.
What about Dancing with the Stars? We get you on Dancing with the Stars. How about that?
I haven't danced in a very long time, but I am open to it. It's been a long time since I've tried to, actually remember a choreographed dance, but I'm open to it.
No, I mean, I fell in love with that show. I always made fun of Dancing with the Stars, and for some reason, we started watching it this past year, and we actually liked it. We were like, "Oh, this is great."
Alex Earl's on it.
Yeah, she was great. She was
incredible.
Amazing. Wait, was Alex at your party?
She was not at my party, but I did attend one of her parties. She had a Sip Margs party at a boat, and that was like actually one of the most fun parties that I attended all of Art Basel.
Art Basel seems exhausting. It
was
like
I slept for 2 days.
Thing after thing.
I just arose from my cave.
But see, why are we filming this for Selling the OC? Why aren't we having a camera follow you around Art Basel? Or what? Well,
we would need a spinoff because
Let's do a spinoff then, because this is my prediction too. So Pizza Slime, your company, right?
Pizza Slime is a company that I work for.
Okay,
that's
so
my team.
Coachella 2026.
Yes, we're doing
coming
it
up in April.
Bigger and bigger.
Huge lineup.
Yes,
huge. I mean, Justin Bieber performing. I mean, like there's
love Justin.
Insane lineup. Are you allowed to say anything that you're working on in terms of Coachella 2026?
I am currently working on multiple Pizza Slime activations during the month of April.
So
multiple.
Is the party block still exist? I mean, it obviously still exists.
Laguna Seca is the name of the party block. It still exists.
Do you still work with?
Yeah, if there's a request or a client that aligns with the needs that Laguna Seca has to offer, I will push it or submit it, of course. But I do a lot of other things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That used to be my only shtick, and now I've just expanded.
Well, because what I'm leading up to is that anybody at Netflix that is watching this, wouldn't it be great to have cameras up by April to be able to follow her around at,
I need a GoPro on my head. We'll get
releases. We'll get releases from these. Wouldn't it be amazing? You got Diplo this past season. Wouldn't it be amazing to even make it more star-studded and to take people behind the scenes of something that a lot of people won't be able to experience? I think it's a good idea.
I can send you a little video of our recap from the past.
I would love it.
Past years of our Pizza Slime parties, so you can see, the vibe. The vibe that we like to create the most is a comfortable, safe environment that is like a house party. So we don't want it to be as like sceney, as some of them are. Again, it's inevitable when there's celebrities and stuff in a room, but we want it to feel like a safe, fun environment where it's like an old school house party where everyone is dancing. People are not really on their phones. People are actually enjoying themselves. And we have like interactive, like this past year, we had a bull that you could ride a bull, like, the mechanical bull.
An actual real bull.
Yeah. Actually, we brought cows, so you could just tip them.
A lot of people got hurt. It was not good.
We had a mechanical bull. Like, we want you to have fun.
Yeah.
We want it to be a silly, lighthearted environment. And the whole company is satire. So our signage is like, bathrooms this way, pee pee poo poo this way.
I remember those signs. If
you have a million plus followers this way.
Yes, I remember. Yes,
and they all lead to the same road.
Well, listen, we had the tart. We had the tart trip happening. Then we come on,
tart. I would love to come on one of your trips, please.
Same, yeah.
Please, I love your makeup too. I'm wearing it right now.
What are the biggest misconceptions in your opinion about celebrity culture these days?
Celebrity culture are people. It's just you're literally constantly gossiping and focusing on a human being under a microscope and picking apart their whole lives. They're just, they're just people.
But are some of them actually, they believe their own press, or there's got to be a certain handful of celebrities that are like, whoa.
Just like normal people, or just like regular people. Some people suck. Some people are amazing. It's just kind of, if it's gotten to their head or how their upbringing was. Do you know what I mean?
What has this first season of reality television taught you? I mean, obviously you were going through something that would have been insane and if the cameras weren't even there. But after having a little bit of time to decompress, do you sit there and go over the experience about, I did learn this I didn't like, this I would do again?
Yeah, I've reflected a lot since the wrapping of filming, and I don't think I would change anything I did if and when we get picked up for another season.
Yeah.
I do think I will have more of a voice as far as where I stand with certain people and situations now that I know everyone better and have formed my own opinion, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No regrets, but going forward,
No, I thought you handled yourself great. That's what I was like, this is really, because usually there's like a handful of like stereotypes you get with these shows.
Yes.
It's like the people that'll just go crazy for no reason, but they're like trying to do it for the cameras. Mm-hmm. And then what you fell into this category I always call, the audience is so sick of me saying this, but the reliable narrator category. Oh. So it's like there are a certain character that you would follow on a reality show every season where you're like, I trust that person. Mm-hmm. So if that person says it, I trust it. If that other person says it, I know they're lying, So that's a really great slot to be in because the audience needs somebody that we can trust. Because we're meeting a lot of these situations and storylines for the first time as well. So you always need to believe that there is somebody there that their feet is on the ground.
I call it as I see it.
Yeah.
If I smell bullshit, I will say it. I feel like something's off. You know what I mean?
She said that at the beginning of the interview. She said, I smell bullshit with you. And she was and then I was like, it's weird. We had to start now. But
I think it's just your Red Bull.
Anyways, it's so horrible. I got a sugar-free Red Bull I don't drink Red Bull, and I brought it home, and then I was running out and I grabbed it. And so this is very embarrassing. She saw me drink a sugar-free Red Bull.
It's not embarrassing at all. I love sugar-free Red Bull. It's my favorite.
It's not great. But
love Red Bull.
Okay, so as we start, God, this has gone so quick.
I know. I can stay as long.
Okay.
I'm chilling.
Well, I am curious a little bit just even where your tastes lie in terms of music and TV and film. This has nothing to do with selling the OC, but I always like to, what are you listening to right now?
I've actually posted about this a couple times on my Instagram, and that was the thing that I got the most feedback out of anything, which was actually surprising. But I love Afro house, Afro beats.
Yeah.
Burna Boy, Mr. Easy, that whole world I'm obsessed with. Amapiano, which is a subgenre similar to Afro house.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love rap, hip hop, electronic music, huge in electronic music as well. Like everyone from Pasa to Burna Boy.
Do you have a playlist out there anywhere?
Lots of playlists.
You need to give it
Spotify.
We need an intro to this type of music, because a lot of people don't understand. They're like, oh, I know EDM, but then they don't know Afro house, or they don't know how they don't understand these different subgenres of music, because it sounds intimidating to a lot of people, where they're like, I don't know what you're saying right now.
I think I need to clean up my playlist, but I do have public playlists I will share with you. But the way that my brain works is, if I like something, I'll be like, oh, I can kind of categorize it into rap, electronic, or chill, which is Afro house as well as just melodic stuff. So I literally just have 3 major playlists that I put everything in, but I'm going to do a better job of kind of really honing in, categorizing and labeling and making
I would be really curious
for everyone to enjoy. But I can share my 3 major playlists with you. They're very extensive. I've been working on them for literally 10 years, but the root of who I am is music. My driving force is music. The reason I work on events and I help throw events is music. I work around Coachella doing real estate because of music.
But sometimes I worry that or talking about reality television, which I loved before I did any of this, sometimes you're like, well, it kind of messes with how I view reality television, because, you get to learn more about it that the audience might not see. It sometimes takes the magic away. Has your jobs around these music experiences ever taken the magic away from you?
Not at all. If I'm working at Coachella and I'm overseeing 40 different rentals as well as multiple activations, if I somehow have a few hours where I can be just on call on my phone, I will go to the festival and watch music.
Yeah.
That is my favorite part of the job. I get to go to these parties and watch these musical performers have a set. I travel the world to see music. My life is literally based around music.
Yeah.
So I've tried to my career is an amalgamation of all these different careers that somewhat revolve around music. Obviously real estate, not so much, but my clientele are musicians.
Yeah.
So it's it's all just.
Where do your tastes lie in rap?
I'm so sorry. I'm not a huge fan of modern day rap. I don't think there's as much magic in it. I prefer.
So we're talking 90s, or we talking?
Yeah, I just prefer old school hip hop. But
Tribe Called Quest and.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I prefer old school hip hop, but I do enjoy hip hop up until 2016, 17. I think is when we started to decline.
Yeah.
Everything after that.
I always
there's some I love, there's some I don't. I just don't think
my ears can't hear it. I always want to hear because my nephew is so into it, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could hear it. It's that's that first realization of, you're like, oh, I'm getting really old because I want to hear this and I can't.
I'm just maybe that's for me, and I'm not, no disrespect at all, because there are some incredible rap artists currently, but I just think as a whole, the rap genre has not been as creative and good the past 8-ish years. I just think it's kind of gotten stagnant, and I'm just not as impressed, I guess.
Yeah. What's the last movie you've seen?
Give me a sec.
And also think about TV. What TV do you watch?
I'm trying to remember the name of this movie I just watched. I just watched this movie, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie that just came out.
One Battle After Another.
Yeah, I just watched that.
What did you think? You didn't like it?
I think that it was a little bit overrated. I don't understand why it.
I
thought it was good.
But see, this is what's great.
I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was knock your socks off. I just didn't.
For me personally, it blew me away, and I've recommended to so many people that have not had the same experience that I've had. And it's like so funny that it's like personally hurt me, where I'm like, no, but I think that's what's great about art, is like
subjective,
right? Like it's like, well, one song can mean something so deeply to somebody else, and I can be like, it's nothing, I
think like the second half of the movie picked up. I think the first half was not. I think some of the casting was where it went awry for me.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
Ooh.
Or do you have a comfort film?
I don't have a favorite movie of all time, and I don't have a comfort.
Do you?
But I'm huge into movies. I love movies and I love music.
But it seems like maybe you're so busy. I'm like, do you actually ever like decompress and like binge a show?
Yes, I binge shows here and there. That show, The Girlfriend, that was probably
the Amazon Prime show?
Yeah, that was actually one of my favorite shows that I've seen in a while. I thought that show was incredible, so good. I binged that in one sitting. I stayed up until like 3 or 4 in the morning with my best friend being like, we can't stop, we're almost done. When I watch stuff, it's just sometimes I go through phases where my ADHD and work is so sporadic that I can't lock in. I go through like months where I can't watch anything, or I'm just binge watching all the time.
Well, we're also trained now to watch TV as we're on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
So like then we're
multitasking.
We're confused then when a show is like so in depth that you have to put your phone down. You're like, I got to really focus on this. And you're like,
that's kind of like The Girlfriend, because there's so many different perspectives.
They're telling a real story. Yeah. Your mom watches reality television. I think you said
mom was
fan of Housewives.
Pining to be on some Housewives. I think she auditioned to be on a Housewife. I don't know if they're doing like Housewives of Boston.
No, they're doing Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Okay, so I think like back in the day, like 10 plus years ago, my mom mentioned that she did an audition with her friends to be on a Housewives show. And she's like,
do we have that video?
Oh my gosh. I would love to see that. And
by the way, okay, Selling the OC comes back. Your mom comes and visits. She's a character on the show.
I don't want my parents on the show.
What? I mean, so you've watched Bravo with your mom, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch any Housewives shows currently?
What do you mean? I watch all.
I mean, do you watch Salt Lake City?
I love Salt Lake City. I love Beverly Hills. I love OC.
So you currently watch these shows?
Yes. I just don't watch some of the cities because I never started from the beginning.
Yeah.
And for me, if I don't have all the context and know the character development and what's going on, I can't just jump in.
I totally get but I sometimes disagree with people with that, where I'll be like, no, start with that 3rd season, because then you can go back to the 1st season and it's like you're watching a prequel. It's like you're like, wow, I flash back to all of a sudden.
Totally.
You don't necessarily need it, but I totally understand it.
Like, I've never seen Miami. I've never seen.
Oh God, do yourself a favor at some point.
Is that a good one?
It's a really good one, and I don't think it gets the credit or the attention it deserves, because it's vibrant. It has its own style. That's why I like Salt Lake so much, because I feel like they're doing it in a different way than your normal Housewives show. It's so bizarre. You're like, I can't believe this is even somewhat real.
Mm-hmm.
And Housewives shows are already ridiculous, but Salt Lake in particular, they're always
Salt Lake is my favorite.
Crazy.
Salt Lake is my favorite.
Who's your favorite on that show?
Heather.
You're wrong once again. Yeah, Heather thing. Well, see,
I just think Heather's funny.
She is funny.
I think her.
But I feel like I feel like the fame's getting to her head a little bit.
I maybe don't disagree, but I still think that she's a baddie.
No, I think everybody on that show deserves to be there, and I don't want them to. It makes me sad, because I'm like, they're going to start making different casting decisions next season.
Mary is also hilarious.
Did you ever think that Mary I never thought I would be agreeing with Mary Cosby. That I'm like, she's the voice of reason.
I would love Mary Cosby so much, because she's gone through all these different, transitions where she's like kind of like angry or like silent, and then she's like a sweetheart, and then her camaraderie with what's her face? Her best friend.
Angie K.
Her and Angie K's like real friendship is so cute.
I know, right?
I just like, it's hard for me to choose a favorite, but I think those.
What do you think of
Bronwyn? I think Bronwyn's makes great TV, and she's interesting, and I think she's great. I don't have anything negative to say about her. I think she's interesting.
I love Bronwyn. I'm just saying, I think that group of ladies, and Lisa and Meredith are so like wacky and in a very interesting way.
The drama there and the bullying shit, because remember that's the plot that's going on right now. That bullying stuff, there's a grain of truth there, and I do not support that, and I do not ship that. I still think they're great characters, and I love watching them on TV, but the bullying thing, gotta go. Not cute. It's not cute.
I love that.
It's not cute. Oh, I forgot to say, my favorite Netflix show right now, series that I binge, is Stranger Things. It's the best show, and I can't wait for the second drop. On,
what is it, December 24th?
I was going to say, I think it's Christmas Eve or Christmas.
Yeah, and then on New Year's Eve. Wait, so what are you doing for the holidays?
I don't know yet, but there's a small chance I might go to Egypt.
Same. It's Egypt or Gilbert, Arizona with my dad.
I'm gonna go back to Boston and see my family for Christmas and Hanukkah.
What might we be doing in Egypt?
One of my good friends basically is rented a boat.
We're renting a pyramid.
And like a big group of my friends are going. And
the Oppenheim group is selling the pyramid, and it's really nice, yeah.
Basically,
so they rented a boat.
Our new real estate is the pyramids.
A lot of space in here.
The Sphinx is
the
actually...
backsplash on this pyramid's amazing.
No, Egypt is like my number one dream bucket list destination in the whole world. And I've basically told anyone and everyone in my general vicinity that if there's an opportunity that's safe to go with a group of people that I'm friends with, please take me or invite me. And that's kind of what's happening right now. I might have, there might be an extra bedroom that I could bring my best friend with, and we would go to the Red Sea and maybe see the pyramids. And I'm like,
that's great.
Pray for me.
That would be wild.
I gotta get this off my bucket list.
2026 that way.
It's my dream in life to go to Egypt. It's calling me.
What is your normal holiday traditions around this time?
Wherever me and my friends get invited to go for New Year's, we go.
So you're like a vagabond. You're just like
I go
caravanning.
I go where I'm welcomed and where I'm praised and loved. If someone invites me somewhere and they're my friend and they love me, I would love to join.
So it doesn't really sound like you're a homebody at all. You're out there adventuring.
I'm a homebody, but I love to go on a trip, a vacation, you know. Like me throwing an Art Basel party was an excuse for me to go to experience Art Basel for the first time and go to Miami, which I love, and make it a work money trip. You know what I mean? But if my friends are like, hey, we're going to go to Costa Rica, do you want to come? I'm like, yes, I will come. If Wes was like, hey, do you want to come to Jamaica? I'm like, yes, I will come. I go where I'm invited. And if I can, you know, sort a trip with me and my friends and organize it myself, I will. I think I do too many things as far as organization for work that I kind of like to be invited.
Want to be, I
like to be invited places so I don't have to work constantly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A little break.
Wait, I forgot about this completely. Talking about Bravo, Pauly Brindle on this show, Luke Gulbranson from Summer House all of a sudden pops up. And I know Luke in real life. And I was like, wait, what the hell is going on? And, you know, he was like, oh, I might join the O group. And I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, but I was really shocked to all of a sudden see him there. Are you allowed to say if they're still in contact? No, you're not. Okay, you can just say you're not.
I don't know.
You do know. You talk to them still.
I don't know.
Let's get her on the phone. I mean, it's fine. I'll text Luke right now. No, I wouldn't. But
I think Pauly has made it public that she's in a relationship.
Yes, that's what I was kind of getting. And then we're ending 2025, going into 2026. You seem like somebody that does manifest and you really want, like, you know, this certain type of life. What does your life in 2026 and moving forward? What are the goals and what are the dreams?
Abundance, good health, prosperity. I know it sounds corny, but at the end of the day...
What does that mean specifically? Like, does it mean like there's a certain dollar amount that I'm chasing and then I will be happy? There's a certain abundance that's what this means to me.
I'm trying to unwire my brain that a certain number or a certain thing is what I need to feel successful or like I've achieved things. However, I do have that kind of in mind, but it's more dream clients. I make vision boards. I'm like really big on that form of manifestation as well as journaling. And last year I made a vision board like in the end of November with one of my best friends. And I wrote the words clients that I wanted to work with, like Netflix as a sponsor, as a potential sponsor for Pizza Slime. And I wrote billboards. So I was like, I would love a billboard. I wrote other clients like Converse, which was one of our title sponsors for one of our events, Casamigos. I think there's 2 things on there that didn't come to fruition. Everything that I wrote on there came to fruition. So I want to make another vision board and write down specific clients that I'd like to work with. And I'm going to work in that way. I want to achieve partnerships in whatever capacity with certain clients.
And this really doesn't matter, but I'm supposed to ask, like, romantically, where are you? Is that something that you factor into manifestation at this point in your life?
I have been manifesting true love for a long time, but I'm one of those people where I love to work. So I'm very rarely actively like looking to date and really putting myself out there. I have a hard time.
No, we don't say we want Selling the OC season 5. She's really going to be dating a lot.
No. Hear me out. I would love to go on dates. I am single, but I'm a workhorse and I prioritize work. So it makes it really hard for me to prioritize going on dates. Also, I don't really get asked out on dates. Not big on apps. I'm more of a vibe person. Like if I vibe with someone and there's chemistry, then let's hang out.
Yeah.
But I usually just leave my house if I'm going to a work event, if I'm going to a meeting, if I'm throwing an event, or if I'm going on vacation. Like I do leave my house, but I'm a very polarized human being. I'm either out working and like throwing events and partying for work, if that makes sense, with work, or I'm at home.
Yeah.
And I am not leaving my couch. I don't even go to the grocery store. I deliver everything.
You're like, I don't even eat.
No, I do not eat. I eat an insane amount. I eat. Please don't get that narrative.
No. That was just me being stupid.
I eat a lot, but I don't even leave my house. Like I get my CVS delivered. Yeah. I get my groceries delivered. I don't leave my house. If I can get anything and everything that's feasibly deliverable, that's happening. I prefer comfort. So,
this has been fantastic. I didn't know what to expect, and I hope you've had a good time.
It's so much fun talking to you.
How do we support you from this on? So, Kaylee Ricciardi, right? And Instagram. I'm going to go follow you on Instagram.
Yes.
But how do we? Anybody listening or watching this? How do you like your support from us?
Okay, so if you guys loved the show and you want another season, go on Netflix, go to Selling the OC and thumbs up it. If we get thumbs up, I think that's a good thing for.
Is that how those? I always see those thumbs up, and I never am like, why are they telling me the thumbs up?
I can't imagine that being anything other than a good sign to up top. So that would be really helpful. And if you need to, if you have any rental needs, let me know. If you want to sell your house. Or buy a house.
And if you're looking to buy a pyramid in Egypt, that is something.
I wish.
You know what? This is so great. Or if your mom's ever in town, we got to get both of you back, and I'll have you watch a Salt Lake City episode, and we'll just talk about your thoughts on a specific episode, because I would now really be curious how you perceive other shows, because that's what we all geek out on. But just want to remind people, she's willing to go back to reality television. I think there's a lot more story to tell. I think she lives a fantastic life, and she's a really, really nice person. We want to support good people. And
just doing my best.
We're all just doing our best. So anyways, folks, happy holidays, and Selling the OC Season 5, hopefully coming very soon.
Thank you.